same day, within hours of when they're going to do it, we're being marginalized. And what we're saying is that we have a mayor and a police chief who want to protect the First Amendment rights of a white terrorist organization like the Klan. They'll protect their First Amendment rights, but they don't want us to be able to have a counter demonstration, and our First Amendment rights aren't equal to the Klan's First Amendment rights. You know, they're going to protect the Klan and their First Amendment rights. The other people, you should just stay home. You know, you shouldn't be out there. You know, and we're saying that this is wrong in a city that's majority African American, and we're the people. You know, maybe us not exactly because we weren't around in the late 19th century, but our ancestors anyway, and us later on, we're the ones who've been subjected to terror from the Klan. Okay, over the years since the Klan first got started here, and for them to come here, and nobody's going to actually just protest the day that they're there. Are they going to be 15 miles away? Nobody's going to see them? No. We're saying that that's wrong, and that we have our rights to do this are just as good as the Klan's. You can give them a permit, right? You can give us one too. You know, we have the same kind of rights. So we've been mobilizing on Facebook. A number of people around the country have said that they are going to come. We don't even know how many people. The politicians in the police department here, they're afraid of that. They don't want a lot of people to come here. They really just wish everybody would stay home, because they feel like if they stay home, then the Klan would have failed. Well, my point is, if we stay home, the Klan will have succeeded. Mm-hmm. They will have succeeded. All we're talking about is having a rally that would be over around the same time the Klan starts there. We're not, we're going to have our own rally. We do our rally, we're finished. The people who come to our rally, what they decide that they want to do after that, they're grown people, they can do what they feel like they need to do. We just want to have a rally where we can express our views about the Klan, just like they're going to have a rally and spew their racist garbage about us. And not only us, the Klan hates Jewish people, they hate immigrants, they hate people who are gay, lesbian, transgender. So they got a lot of different people that they spew their hatred toward. So we're just asking for our own right to be able to speak. So I just kind of, we've been talking about, Dolly talked about the NAACP, their collusion with its son's Confederate denizens. And
you have a question?
So just to be clear, what do you think is exactly going through the police or the powers that be here in Memphis about wanting to stop the counter protests? Is it that they don't want attention on the fact that the Klan is here, or they don't want there to be a fight, or I just kind of want that laid out a little bit more.
All of the above. All of it. Okay, just in terms of looking at the police violence case, a 15-year-old boy got killed. Everywhere else, it's broadcast throughout the world. Like in New York with a 16-year-old kid, or like down in Florida. The people here, that are in charge, are keeping anything going from going national outside. They want to keep it localized. Okay. And so, and then let me say, you got even within our community, our politicians, some of them are so ignorant they don't even know the history, of Nathan Bedford Forrest and the whole deal. So we get politicians that get up and say, we don't even know nothing about that old stuff back there, that back then or whatever, So, but this is one of the what they call that transportation center, where distribution centers in the United States and the world, and so therefore they don't want any information to come in, even to filter in, to even get the people here excited about it. See, because a lot of times when people know about that something's going to happen, that the whole world knows about it, it may impact on the local, situation. So they want to keep everything didn't know anything that may have been outside of Memphis about the sanitation, strike until basically the assassination of King. It had been going on almost a year, and even people who are like me, I was a student, and I didn't know anything was going on, in the city of Memphis. I was in Alabama then, going to college. But what I'm saying is that they want to keep everything localized. And they're trying to also learn the lessons from other places. When in Seattle they did the globalization thing and how the police, kept the people away from the, so they also are trying to utilize tactics that the police have been using against all kinds of movements, anti-war movements, anti-mobilization movements, and even the Wall Street thing, to keep it localized. And once you localize something, you can do anything you can do. Like, for example, in Oakland, California, after this media came off of the Wall Street stuff, where you had protests about Wall Street, where they went right in and tore down all the tents in the park and ran the people out of the park. They did that locally in a lot of places. That's what they're trying to do here, to keep it localized so that there will be no knowledge or no support for it, even inside the city itself. And so you get all the ministers saying, this is Easter weekend. Easter, that's what was that, Good Friday, And so it's going to be a beautiful weekend, Everybody should enjoy this weekend, So I'm just saying, this is kind of the strategy that they're using,
It's gonna be a struggle-free weekend.
Lyle, anything to do with that?
Well, the thing about, you were asking about the Klan though, is that, and also the officials, they are concerned about the ability of this thing to damage their profit structure. This city could be slandered and libeled all over the world, to be quite honest. And people would not want to come in and do business here. This is what happened at the end of the Civil Rights Movement, during the Civil Rights Movement, when places like Birmingham were used, racist police chiefs were used to beat down black people. That publicity went all over the world about what Bull Connor did. That crushed the economy of the city of Birmingham for years. They were not able to get their city to be recognized as a progressive city for years. And this is what they fear here. They fear that they will be, as they see it, slandered all over the world. Well, that's what should happen. That's what should happen. In fact, we should make that happen. I've been saying consistently that we should boycott this place. We should put up a website. We should put up whatever. We should contact groups all over the world in a boycott to make the city of Memphis be seen as a pariah, as an international pariah, because that's what it actually is. But we should work towards that effort. They're bringing the Klan in. The Klan feels comfortable coming in because these people, they're collaborating with them, and they're pissed because they broke their agreement as far as they're concerned. Now, the other group of Klansmen are saying, just hold on, we're going to make a deal, and we're going to get the parts back. We're going to get the names back up there. We got the NACP working with us, and so forth and so on. So just hold on, don't come down for a protest. You go inflame things. See, so you got all these different forces that are working towards the objective of restoring a white supremacist institution, one way or the other, with the sons of Confederate veterans and the politicians. There's a wing of the politicians that want to have it. I mean, they were forced to do this. They're not doing this because they wanted to do it. They were forced because the state government has passed a law, or was passing a law, that would take away their right to rename the parks. And in fact, this weekend, since you all have been here, they got it passed in Asheville, saying that you can't rename a so-called war park or some garbage like this. So this is about money, and this is about protecting their capitalist profits. And to be quite honest, if we could get a boycott on these people, we could destroy not only the Memphis economy that's based on tourism, 70% by the way. We could destroy a company, the bottom line of a company like Federal Express and AutoZone, which are both consumer businesses. you would have to deal with them, trade with them to, for them to stay in business. If you did not trade with them, if you boycotted their ass, you could drive them out of business, or you could crush their bottom line. You know what I'm saying? And this is what we need to be thinking about. And this is what they're thinking about, to be quite honest, in response to your question. This is exactly what they're thinking about. And it's like you get in a fight with somebody, you want to know what their weakness is. When you find it out, you go towards their weakness. All right. I missed something.
Are there, questions about the Klan, anti-Klan protest?
Are there any other groups, from the black community that have, shown interest in participating in the protest against the Klan?
Well, what you got here, we'll talk about it, but what you got here is basically a line, a political line, from the NACP, the SCLC, and all the rest of them, to not confront the Klan. That is their position. They are united to not confront the Klan. They are united with government officials to have this false show of unity and class peace. And but there's no unity in terms of having a militant demonstration against the Klan. There's no unity in having a militant movement against police brutality. And so, us being a new movement on the scene, not encumbered or not bought off by local political realities, we're it. In a manner of speaking, we're it. And in both instances, we were like forced into doing this organizing. I mean, Sister explained, you might have mentioned this morning, explained how we got involved in police brutality organizing here locally, sort of because of so many people getting killed. And, and there's no one speaking up. But there's class collaborationism with the Klan, with the cops here. The NACP, the head of the NACP, as has been stated, is a paid consultant for the police department. And he's also somebody who's in bed with the Sons of Confederate Veterans and wants to preserve the Confederate park system, and has said that in tandem with these Sons of Confederate Veterans, which are really just a soft Klan. They're just a front for another Klan faction. And so that's what you got. And so, we recognize this for what it is, the treachery and class collaborationism here, and we're just doing what we can do, And they're fighting us as a result of that. They want to stop us from having a place to speak, they want a place to assemble, all of that, while allowing it to the Ku Klux Klan. So our thing is we got to expose this to the world. See, I don't understand how people think sometimes, if something is happening to you, you have to let the world know of an injustice. I don't understand sitting around here and trying to preserve the local power structure. I don't care about the local power structure. I'd crush this whole thing if I could. And if I could bring in 1,000 protesters in here, then we'll fight the cops or whoever in the street we have to fight to get to the Klan. You know what I'm saying? I'll just be quite honest with you. I'm not trying to hide anything. I've always said this, and I've always practiced this. And I think it's really important to understand that these people, the state here, and the state in the South has always been allied directly with the Ku Klux Klan as an extra-legal force. Whether it was to crush unions, whether it's to crush the civil rights movement, or whatever it was designed to do, but it has always been allied with the state. Having a so-called black government has made no difference whatsoever. They're continuing to carry out policies and programs to support white supremacy. That's what you got here. And this is why the resistance has taken the form that it's taken.
Okay, I would say that Memphis, as I quoted earlier, is a center of opportunism. We do have, there are people who are supposedly organized anti-Klan, demonstration. One is going to be the day before. And so therefore, those people never, they might organize a small demonstration or whatever, but they'll never join any other, demonstration unless it's under their leadership. And we also have to understand we're in the Obama era, where Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton and all those folks have been basically neutralized in terms of being power brokers for the so-called, community. And so therefore, even when you have something like that with that Jesse and Al and all used to jump in on, you see what I'm saying? If they heard there was something going on, organized against the Klan. It's been absolute silence, almost, when we look at certain situations that have happened, particularly in the South, in terms of trying to organize around issues that pertain to the black community in particular. And so we have to really look at that and understand that. And I made an analysis in 2008 when Obama was about to be elected, that he would be elected, that he would take over the leadership of the petty bourgeois elements in the community. And then there would be sound reigning from all those individuals. So now they have arrived. Their dream has been realized that we have a black president of the United States. And so they're so enamored of that they would do no criticism. They would do nothing. They would do nothing that would point to the contradictions in the black community as a result of the election of this particular president. So we have to understand those kind of things in terms of, on the ground level has to be organized. Our community has been disorganized. Matter of fact, in many instances, we don't see a community. That's why you don't see a response, here. Even the people who call themselves militant nationalists, they're aware of this, they're aware of what we're doing here, but you don't see them, And I was looking at a video about Ron Karenga speaking somewhere one time, it might have been in Chicago, where he said the black nationalists, people who call themselves are the most divided, and it's not the community itself, but it's the organized, so-called organized community that's most divided, in our community here. That's why you don't see any kind of response, because the people don't see any level of cooperation and coordination against any issue that involves them. And so we got to understand that in terms of our role, what our role as organizers is going to have to be to educate, not just agitate, but to educate the people to the structure, the class, situation that people think used to be organizations that people used to think that they could count on and rely on are no longer reliable, and we can't. And so therefore, this is a new era of organization. And I think with this coalescence from different forces, we'll be able to eventually get to the root in terms of the community and be able to create the new order that must come to play in organizing around issues in the community.
Well, is there any other comments about the anti-klan? People know about it, people are going to go back, talk about it.
We got some flyers up there in the back
Yeah.
there.
Let other people know about it so they can come.
What does promotion look like so far?
Promotion of
Like flyer distribution and social media, etc.
Well, first of all, the Ivy Wells Coalition was created last year before this stuff even happened. And they were going to come here, and we were going to try to invite people to come here and protest at that time in the park, the Forest Park. So there've been people around for a while, and we have got them to start doing the organizing already for the Klan demonstration, so that we can work on this. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to do this. And they've got a Facebook page and what have you, and they've got an email list and all this, and they're still growing, still building towards the 30th. There are a lot of people who know about it as a result of that. That's how people found out about it. Nobody else got online and talked about the Klan coming until I got on there and talked about it, and then talk to these people and say, well, you all can build something, you know, a list or whatever to keep this going while we do the stuff around police brutality. And so that already exists, and we're going to have to expand that. We're going to have to start getting stuff on Twitter, which I don't know a damn thing about Twitter, but I don't know, I'll be willing to learn to do something, or get somebody else to do it if I have to. And we have to try to get radio, online radio, because they boycott everything we do here. Online, you know, online radio and you know, I don't know, Ustream or whatever, you know, that is, with the ability to get on online TV and talk about this stuff in the next 2 weeks. We don't have very much time, but that's what we want to do. And then we've got other people who are word of mouth, you know, who are posting, reposting the materials, and the flyers online. You want the flyers online? People are sending us flyers and stuff to pass out here. You know, we haven't been able to do it primarily because we're doing this, but we're going to have to get flyers to our comrades here in order to get stuff out in the streets, you know. And people are saying that they're going to go to high schools and different things like that. So things are being worked on here, you know. What we also have to recognize, though, is that there's a campaign by subversive elements to disrupt, not just the government. You got the national, the Memphis Peace and Justice Center, I understand, it's actually been contacting the police department and telling them what to do to stop protesting. You know, how to set their troops up and all this kind of stuff. You know, so I mean, and then how to what to put in the media to you know defeat us and how to keep us quiet. You know, as far as the media, they're the ones been doing this counter structure stuff with the feds here and with the state. You know, they're the ones been doing it. So we got a struggle ahead of us. We're doing what we can. We have to go outside of conventional media here. We don't have that luxury. We have to go outside conventional. So we're using social media. If you got some ideas, we sure as hell would like them too.
Yes, but so that would do, like, for those of us going back to hometowns that can't make it, like, would you like me to put this out as much as possible and just try and get as many heads as possible to come down here?
Right, definitely, that's the idea.
Yeah, if you send us an email, organizing@gmail.com, then I can email you the flyer,
Yeah.
or you can take something from up there, but it's easier if you email version, you can email to everybody else, right?
Yeah.
Just remind me, just remind me.
Yeah, we want, that's what we want to get as many people as possible, know about it, you know, keep coming. Yes, sir, brother.
Yes, unfortunately, we have to go.
Okay.
Yeah. Most of us have things to do early Sunday morning,
Yes, sir.
and the only way we can do it is by.
Yeah, I understand. Be rested and ready. Okay. We appreciate y'all coming.
Yeah, thank you.
We're gonna hug and, all right, my sister. Thank you. Appreciate your work, both in Chicago, and yours as well. You know how it goes. You know how it is. You know how it is.
Plan for our anti-klan.
But yeah, we appreciate your work. They're a great deal. And we'll get over there and see you.
Yeah, tap into some Russell classes and give credit to the students.
Yeah, there's one university right there. Yeah. This is our main contract, so we're gonna do that.
Good. University of Memphis, right? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Well,
Should hit up, Antioch has a co-op exchange program. The students like to do a lot of activist stuff. And they get credit for, going and helping organizations and organizing what they get.
but they haven't planned in Antioch. I'm told.
Huh?
Plans in Washington.
Really? I was asked, there was, there was a Panther takeover of Antioch years ago. I went there. There was lots of stories about it. I'm sorry. You're starting up. We have viewers. We have 5 viewers. That's what I was telling you.
Well, while we're at it, let's talk about what we need to do for this building, a national network against racism and police brutality. One simple thing we're gonna do is to create a discussion list so that we can follow up and have people also go back to where they came from and you know, and let other folks know and build the network that way as well, you know, but we knew that we weren't gonna be able to just, you know, have everybody say, well, everybody here is happy with it, so forth and so on. We have to talk about how we structure it, and we've got to talk about how we do the local work and all that in the hometown, in your hometown, and planning the next steps. You know, it's really important. If we can utilize social media, and if we can utilize some of the contacts we made here, we can then begin that process. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be instantaneous, but it will at least allow us to do that. And so we're going to set up a mailing list, and if we got everyone's email, we will send you an email to invite you into it, and then you can tell other folks about it, and you know, and let them know about it. When we get the opportunity, it's going to be after the Klan stuff, no doubt. We'll then set up a Facebook page so that people will know about it as well. You know, sort of keep pushing it. And so I just think that the fact that you came here, as opposed to us just starting off on email or something like that, it's too impersonal. Everybody knows that. You know, it's too damn. It still is too impersonal to just sit behind a computer and make stuff. You don't know who the person is. Wow, that guy, I don't even know a damn thing about him. I have no loyalty to these people or whatever. You know, but we've met, see, and you know it's a real human being over here as opposed to just a keyboard or some bullshit or some pixels or some crap. So we can go from there. So that's one of the things we're thinking of. And there'll be other ideas as well, other concrete ideas. We want people who don't have organizations already against police brutality. We want you to go back and start and meet other people and so forth, and start to build your own local organization. You know, your local network against racism and police brutality. You know, like you were saying in over there in Columbus, you didn't have a group there. Well, when we were in Chattanooga, there wasn't a group at first. There was only two women, one whose father was murdered and her friend. They started the group, and I came along and then became the so-called, what was it, I guess the chairperson of the group, acting chairperson of the group. And then it just started growing, and it became a mass movement. And so over the course of 15 years, it started growing, and eventually, you know, it was able to inspire some serious changes in that town. So it doesn't require a hell of a lot of people to get started. You can go back and 2 or 3 of you can start a movement, start a group. And so this is one of the things we're asking you to do. We're going to, you know, try to fortify people with materials and stuff. But most of you guys are experienced organizers anyway. You know, you're already experienced activists, and you don't need a hell of a lot of hand holding. You know, it's just a question of focus. You know, of focus and commitment. And we know you got that. You got here. Some people drove a car here 9, 10 hours. You know, goodness. You know, that's commitment to me. Shit, we can get people living here to drive a car for a half hour. So, you know, that's right. So, but nevertheless, we know we just want to set the stage for a movement. And our inspiration, in fact, myself and Jonathan's inspiration, and our understanding, came from the original National Committee to Combat Fascism, which was created by the Black Panther Party in 1969, I think it was, in Berkeley, California. And that organization was not just made up of all black people. I mean, the Black Panther Party unmistakably was a black autonomous form of organization. But the National Committee to Combat Fascism wasn't. It had all kinds of people. It was an all-people organization. And, of course, unfortunately, by the time it came into existence, the Black Panther Party was just about destroyed. You know, and by the time they got in place in, what, 72? Something like that, 72. The organization